Bine ați venit în Republica Moldova, domnule ambasador Carpenter. Mulțumim pentru această deschidere de a avea această discuție. Știu că ați mai fost în Republica Moldova anterior, dar nu într-o situație de securitate atât de tensionantă pentru țara noastră. De aceea vreau să vă întreb dacă vedeți acum la moment riscuri pentru Republica Moldova din perspectiva securității.
Well, look, first of all, it's great to be here, be back in Moldova. It's always fun to travel here. And I see so much progress in terms of the situation on the ground. So I just wanted to say that first. Look, in terms of tensions, I don't think we see any indications of any military threats. Certainly, there has been some information operations coming from Moscow. We see no merit to these claims whatsoever.
Dumneavoastră cunoașteți foarte bine această regiune. Anterior ați ocupat funcția de secretar adjunct al apărării în Statele Unite ale Americii pentru Europa, Federația Rusă și Eurasia. De aceea și vă întreb, vedem aceste amenințări directe, cum ați spus și dumneavoastră, din partea Federației Ruse, aceste semnale și pe toți îi interesează cum și dacă Statele Unite ale Americii vor susține Republica Moldova în cazul unor destabilizări aici la Chișinău sau chiar unele acțiuni militare în stânga Nistrului.
Well, as I said before, we don't see any military threat that is imminent. In terms of the work that the United States does to partner with Moldova, of course we want to make this country as resilient as possible, both institutionally in terms of its democracy, but also allowing it to withstand various forms of hybrid pressure. And we're going to continue that work. And let's not forget that the OSCE is also an important organization here on the ground. The OSCE works to support confidence building, to lower tensions, and ultimately to support a resolution to the conflict that respects Moldova's sovereignty and territorial integrity within its internationally recognized borders, of course, with a special status for Transnistria. So there are tools that we deploy to lower tensions, and it is a priority for my government. You heard President Biden say this, to make Moldova a successful, prosperous, secure democracy. And that means building that institutional resilience. And you've seen it with, $300 million recently to support energy security. We're going to continue to support this country going forward.
Vreau neapărat să vorbim despre rezolvarea conflictului transnistrian, acolo unde OSCE are un rol foarte important. Se discută des aici în societatea din Republica Moldova despre formatul 5+2, care la moment este imposibil. Și aici vreau să vă întreb dacă este loc de un nou format și dacă e posibil de îl reanimat pe cel care este în prezent 5+2.
Well, I think the reality is that the 5+2 is the only format in town, and so we'll look to use that at the appropriate time. Of course, given Russia's brutal war against Ukraine, it's hard to see that format operating in the near term. However, this is the format for settling the conflict, and we will support it. I have to say, I'm also very pleased that there are 1+1 negotiations between Chișinău and Tiraspol. I think that's useful. As I said, the OSCE, one of its mandates is also to support confidence building and dialogue. And so from the United States perspective, we're heartened to see that there is dialogue, and we're going to continue to support that.
Anterior, în acest format, Statele Unite ale Americii are rolul de observator. Considerați că ar fi oportun ca Statele Unite ale Americii să-și ridice acest nivel, nu doar de observator, dar și mediator?
Look, as I said, I think the 5+2 is the one format that has been established, that has supported efforts to reconcile the parties and seek a resolution, as I said before, that respects Moldova's sovereignty and territorial integrity with a special status for Transnistria. We're going to continue to support that format at the right moment. As I said, there's difficulties right now given Russia's war against Ukraine. So I think that's an obvious fact that needs to be stated. But But the United States is very active as well. Both in the OSCE, we're very active in supporting the government of Moldova with a number of initiatives from energy security to macro-financial support to a lot of support, both technical and otherwise, for the reform process here. So the United States is deeply engaged in Moldova and will continue to be so. When it comes specifically to the 5+2, I don't think we're going to alter that format, but we will be very engaged as we go forward. And the fact that I'm here and that I traveled to Tiraspol and that I've met with government officials here in Chișinău, I think testifies to that, as has the fact that President Sandu recently met with President Biden in Warsaw. I mean, this is a fairly big deal that a meeting at this level would happen. I think, again, it testifies, not to mention her meeting with Secretary Blinken just a week beforehand. So, look, there's been a lot of engagement, and I think we're looking to ramp up that engagement, but that's quite separate from the 5+2.
Recent, misiunea OSCE în Moldova a început să fie condusă de o nouă ambasadoare. Este de origine americană, Kelly Keiderling, și ne interesează dacă, odată cu venirea acesteia în fruntea misiunii OSCE de aici, lucrurile se vor mai dinamiza. Pentru că există o percepție că în anumite situații, atunci când sunt diferite abuzuri la Tiraspol, misiunea nu reacționează de fiecare dată așa cum s-ar dori. Există această deschidere de a dinamiza activitatea misiunii de aici?
Well, so look, I think there's two questions there. First of all, I just met with the staff of the OSCE mission here in Chișinău, and I have to say, Ambassador Keiderling is an exceptional leader, and she has a wonderful staff as well who really pour their hearts into the work that they do. And they're having an impact on the ground, and they really do a lot of tough work, both in terms of monitoring, but also in terms of advocating for the values of the organization and the principles that we've all signed up to as OSCE participating states. Now, Ambassador Keiderling reports to the Secretary General and ultimately to the 57 participating states. I'm here as a representative of the United States within the organization. So we have different roles. Look, I'll say this. I think the OSCE is looking to ramp up its activities in Moldova writ large. So we've had a new project recently on gender-based violence that has been significant. I have been encouraging the mission to think about new projects where we could put additional extra budgetary funds into this mission. Obviously, with Moldova hosting so many refugees from Ukraine, the needs are great in many different areas. And so we'll look to continue to do that. So yes, I think there will be new energy. On the matter of human rights in Transnistria, this is a separate question. I discussed it with Mr. Krasnoselski in Tiraspol. I think we're very concerned by some of the trends that we see in terms of especially political prisoners. And look, we didn't shy away from that topic. I think we don't see eye to eye on this, but we're going to continue to raise these cases, just as we do everywhere in the OSCE region. Not because we come to lecture, but because these are commitments that represent the values of the entire OSCE region. And nobody gets a pass on those. And so we'll continue to raise these as they come up.
Într-adevăr, mă bucur că ați menționat subiectul drepturilor omului în stânga Nistrului, care este o problemă foarte stringentă. În ultima perioadă vedem tot mai multe persoane închise în închisorile din stânga Nistrului pentru opiniile exprimate în mod public și pentru viziunea lor diferită față de cea a regimului. În această situație, vreau să vă întreb care este viziunea dumneavoastră. Este nevoie de anumite mecanisme de protecție acestora la nivel internațional sau cum am putea noi să punem presiune pe regimul de la Tiraspol pentru a elibera aceste persoane în mod necondiționat?
Look, I think we need to keep raising these cases and vocally. And in fact, I have raised cases of political prisoners in Transnistria in the Permanent Council at the OSCE on several occasions. And I think my interlocutor this afternoon, Mr. Krasnoselski, was aware of that fact and in fact raised the issue himself. And so we discussed it. But look, human rights are fundamental freedoms. They're not up for negotiation or for discussion. Especially the freedom of expression is so basic to our system of human rights around the world that we can't turn a blind eye to abuses. We have to raise cases and demand that those rights be respected.